Let me tell you something most people are too weak to admit. The reason you're not winning isn't bad luck, bad timing, or a lack of talent. It's comfort. Comfort is the silent killer of ambition. Comfort whispers lies in your ear, tells you that tomorrow is fine, tells you that rest is deserved, tells you that average is acceptable. And the moment you listen to it, your progress dies. Comfort feels good, but it ruins lives. The warm bed, the easy money, the lazy routine, the distractions you call relaxation, all of it is a trap. While you're busy being comfortable, someone else is suffering on purpose. Someone else is waking up earlier, working harder, learning faster. And make no mistake, that person will replace you. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards pressure, pain, and persistence. You don't grow in comfort. You grow when it's hard. You grow when you're tired, when you're uncomfortable, when quitting feels logical, but you refuse anyway. Every powerful version of you lives on the other side of discomfort. But most people will never meet that version of themselves because comfort feels safer than effort. That's why most people stay broke, weak, and forgotten. Look at your life honestly. If everything is easy, you're not progressing. You're decaying. Comfort turns warriors into spectators. It turns dreams into excuses. It convinces you that mediocrity is normal, but winners live differently. Winners choose discipline over feelings. They choose pain now so they can live freely later. They don't ask, how do I feel? They ask, what needs to be done? Every time you choose comfort, you vote against your future. Every time you avoid struggle, you delay success. Progress demands sacrifice. It demands that you do what others won't, so tomorrow you can live how others can't. There is no shortcut. There is no soft path to a hard life worth living. Comfort doesn't attack you aggressively. It doesn't scream. It doesn't force you to quit. That's why it's so dangerous. Comfort speaks softly. It tells you that you've done enough for today, that you deserve rest before results, that consistency can wait. It convinces you that you're preparing when in reality you're procrastinating. And the most brutal part is this: comfort feels logical. It sounds reasonable. It wraps laziness in justification and calls it balance. Here's the hook most people never catch. Comfort doesn't ruin your life overnight. It erodes it slowly, day by day, decision by decision. One skipped workout becomes a habit. One delayed task becomes a pattern. One excuse becomes your identity. Comfort makes you believe you're still in control while it quietly takes control away from you. You don't notice the damage until years have passed and you're staring at a life far smaller than the one you imagined. Comfort lies by giving you a false sense of security. It tells you your job is stable, your skills are good enough, and your position is safe. But the world doesn't care about your comfort zone. Markets change. Competition grows. Younger, hungrier people are coming every day. Comfort convinces you to stop sharpening your edge, and the moment you stop improving, you start falling behind. The scary part? You won't feel the fall immediately. You'll feel calm until you're irrelevant. Another lie comfort tells is that time is abundant. It makes tomorrow feel guaranteed. It makes urgency feel optional. Comfort says you can start next week. You're still young. There's no rush. That lie has destroyed more dreams than failure ever could, because failure at least teaches. Comfort numbs. Comfort delays. Comfort keeps you stuck in the same place while the clock keeps moving forward, whether you act or not. Comfort also hides behind pleasure. Endless scrolling, cheap entertainment, binge watching, late nights with no purpose. All of it feels harmless, even deserved. But comfort turns dopamine into a prison. You get addicted to easy rewards, and suddenly hard work feels unbearable. Focus feels painful. Discipline feels extreme. Comfort rewires your brain to avoid effort, and once effort feels foreign, progress feels impossible. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Comfort makes you mentally weak. When life eventually applies pressure, and it always does, you break faster, you panic sooner, you quit earlier. Why? Because you trained yourself to escape discomfort instead of facing it. You practiced avoidance, not resilience. Comfort doesn't prepare you for storms. It leaves you exposed when they arrive. Comfort even lies about happiness. It tells you that ease equals peace. But deep down, you know that the most painful feeling isn't effort, it's stagnation. It's knowing you could do more, but didn't. It's the quiet frustration of unrealized potential. Comfort gives short-term relief at the cost of long-term respect for yourself. And once you lose self-respect, no amount of comfort can replace it. Every major breakthrough in your life will come from a moment where comfort begged you to stop and you refused. That's the moment where growth begins. Comfort will always argue for safety. Progress demands courage. The question isn't whether comfort is lying. It always is. The real question is how long you'll keep listening. Most people chase growth while running from the very thing that creates it. They want better results, higher status, stronger confidence, more success, but they panic the moment things get uncomfortable. That contradiction is why so many lives plateau early. Growth does not negotiate with comfort. It never has. The moment life feels hard is not a signal to stop. It's proof you're finally moving in the right direction. Here's the first uncomfortable truth. If your life feels easy all the time, you are not progressing. You are repeating. Growth demands friction. Just like muscles tear before they grow stronger, your mindset, discipline, and character must be challenged to evolve. Discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. Yet most people misinterpret discomfort as danger instead of development, and they retreat right before transformation happens. Discomfort forces focus. When things are comfortable, you drift. You procrastinate, you negotiate with yourself. But when pressure is applied, excuses disappear. You either adapt or fall behind. That's why the hardest phases of life often create the strongest versions of people. Struggle sharpens awareness. Pain clarifies priorities. Discomfort removes illusions and exposes what actually matters. There's a reason confidence grows after you survive hard seasons. It's not because life became easier. It's because you became stronger. Every time you push through discomfort, your tolerance expands. What once felt overwhelming becomes normal. What once felt impossible becomes routine. That's real growth, not motivation, not inspiration, capacity. Most people never build this capacity because they avoid the feeling of being bad at something. They quit when they look foolish. They stop when progress is slow, but discomfort is the price of mastery. Every skill you admire, physical strength, mental toughness, financial intelligence, leadership, was earned through long periods of frustration and resistance. There is no clean path to excellence. The mess is the process. Discomfort also exposes truth. When things get hard, you meet yourself honestly. You see how disciplined you really are. You see how committed you actually are. Comfort allows you to pretend. Discomfort forces accountability. It strips away self-deception and reveals whether your goals are wishes or non-negotiables. That's why many people fear it, not because it hurts, but because it tells the truth. Another reality most ignore is this. Avoiding discomfort doesn't remove pain from your life, it postpones it. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. Choosing discomfort early builds leverage later. You struggle now so life becomes easier later. Avoid struggle now and life collects the debt with interest. Discomfort builds identity. Every time you do what's hard instead of what's easy, you send yourself a message, I can be trusted. That trust compounds. Confidence stops being something you feel and becomes something you know. You don't need external validation because you've proven your resilience privately. That's power. Most people never develop. The irony is this. The discomfort you fear is smaller than the life you'll regret. Growth will always feel uncomfortable because it requires you to leave behind who you've been. Comfort wants you familiar. Growth demands you become unfamiliar, unrecognizable, and stronger than before. And once you understand that discomfort isn't the enemy, but the gateway, you stop running from it. You start using it. Motivation is exciting, but it's unreliable. It shows up when things are easy, when the mood is right, when the music hits and the energy feels high. Discipline shows up when none of that is there. That's the difference most people don't understand. They wait to feel ready, inspired, or confident before they act. And by doing that, they hand control of their future to their emotions. Emotions are unstable. Discipline is not, here's the hard truth. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings don't build empires. Feelings change with sleep, weather, stress, and comfort. One bad day can erase motivation completely. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what needs to be done, and then it demands execution. That's why disciplined people keep winning quietly, while motivated people keep restarting loudly. Discipline is a decision made in advance. It removes negotiation. When you rely on motivation, you wake up every day debating with yourself. Should I train today? Should I work harder today? Should I push or relax? Discipline eliminates that conversation. The answer is already decided. You act because it's the standard, not because it feels good. That mental clarity alone puts you ahead of most people. Most people think discipline is punishment. It's not. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's choosing long-term power over short-term comfort. Every time you do the work without being motivated, you reinforce a powerful identity, someone who can be trusted to follow through. That identity compounds faster than any burst of inspiration ever could. Motivation makes promises. Discipline keeps them. Motivation talks about goals. Discipline handles systems. Goals are meaningless without consistent behavior, and consistency is impossible if it depends on emotion. Discipline builds routines that operate even on bad days, and bad days are the real test. Anyone can perform when life is easy. Very few can perform when they're tired, bored, frustrated, or doubting themselves. Here's a hook most people miss. Discipline creates motivation, not the other way around. Action comes first. Momentum follows. When you start moving despite resistance, motivation catches up. Confidence grows after execution, not before. Waiting to feel motivated is backwards thinking, and it keeps people stuck in preparation mode forever. Discipline also protects you from distraction. Motivation gets hijacked easily by comfort, pleasure, and noise. Discipline doesn't care what's trending, what's entertaining, or what's easy. It stays locked on the mission. In a world designed to steal focus, discipline is a competitive advantage. It allows you to work deeply while others are endlessly distracted. Another reality people avoid is that discipline feels boring. Repetition isn't glamorous. Consistency isn't exciting. That's exactly why it works. While others chase excitement, disciplined people build results quietly. They understand that excellence is built in monotony, same actions, same standards, day after day. That's how strength is built. Mentally and physically, discipline also creates freedom. Most people think freedom comes from having no rules. In reality, freedom comes from self-control. When you control your actions, habits, and impulses, life opens up. You're no longer a slave to procrastination, laziness, or mood swings. Discipline gives you leverage over your own behavior, and that leverage translates into power in every area of life. The people you admire most aren't more motivated than you. They're more disciplined. They don't rely on hype. They rely on habits. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They move under imperfect ones. Discipline is what carries them through silence, slow progress, and unseen effort. And that's why, over time, discipline always beats motivation. While you're scrolling, binge watching, or telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow, someone else is out there working, struggling, and moving forward. That's the harsh reality most people refuse to see. The world doesn't pause for comfort. It doesn't wait for your timing. While you delay action, someone else is closing the gap, taking opportunities, and building what you dream about. Every moment you spend being comfortable is a moment someone else uses to surpass you. That's the hook most people ignore. Time doesn't care, but effort compounds. Here's the hard truth. You are always in competition, even when you don't feel it. Life doesn't operate on fairness. It rewards results, not intentions. Someone who sacrifices sleep, pushes past discomfort, and faces challenges head on will inevitably get ahead of the person waiting for the perfect moment. While you're thinking about starting, they're already halfway there. And by the time you act, you're not competing with the same problem. You're competing with a moving target that has no sympathy for hesitation. Most people underestimate how fast someone else can rise. A consistent person doing slightly more than required quietly becomes unstoppable. Small, disciplined actions repeated daily stack like compounding interest. That person may not look extraordinary today, but give it time, months, a year, 5 years, and their progress will be undeniable. Meanwhile, you're stuck complaining about obstacles while comfort keeps you stationary. That gap between those who act and those who wait widens faster than most realize. Another reality most avoid is that action attracts opportunity. While you're hesitant, someone else is networking, learning, failing, and improving. Every attempt they make increases their leverage. Every risk they take strengthens their position. Opportunity doesn't find the comfortable. It finds the prepared, the active, the relentless. That's why you often see people who started later but acted faster outpace those who planned longer or waited for readiness. Motion creates momentum, and comfort kills momentum before it begins. Here's the hook that hits hardest. Comfort makes you invisible. When you hide behind excuses, delay action, and avoid discomfort, no one notices you. No one talks about your potential. No doors open automatically. But the person willing to struggle, willing to fail, willing to put in the work quietly builds reputation, credibility, and influence. Visibility in life is earned through action, not intention. You can dream all you want, but if someone else acts, they own the results and you remain a spectator. Discomfort teaches lessons that comfort never will. While you wait safely on the sidelines, others are learning the rules of the game, making mistakes, adjusting, and growing. Every failure they experience strengthens their skill, resilience, and decision-making. Every obstacle they face becomes a stepping stone to mastery. You can avoid discomfort, but you cannot avoid life. And life rewards preparation, action, and endurance more than it rewards excuses, comfort, and waiting. There's also a psychological edge to consider. People who continuously push while others pause develop confidence that is nearly untouchable. They know how to navigate challenges because they've faced them repeatedly. You, who avoided the same challenges in search of comfort, will feel hesitation and fear the moment pressure arrives. The gap is not just physical or financial, it's mental. Every action builds mental armor, and every delay erodes it. The most dangerous trap of all is thinking you can catch up later. You cannot. Life doesn't reset. Time doesn't rewind. Every day someone else is progressing is a day lost for you. The longer you stay comfortable, the steeper the climb becomes. And the climb doesn't get easier. The competition gets stronger, faster, and more prepared. Your inaction today isn't neutral. It's a gift to someone else who's willing to pay the price for success. Pain is unavoidable. Everyone experiences it. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate is not the presence of pain, but how they face it. Most people spend their lives avoiding it, chasing comfort, and pretending it doesn't exist. They think that if they sidestep struggle, they can somehow reach success without effort. That is a lie, and it is the most expensive one you will ever pay for. Avoiding pain doesn't make life easier. It only delays the inevitable confrontation, and when it arrives, it hits harder because you've never trained for it. That's the hook most people fail to see. Short-term avoidance leads to long-term suffering. Here's the first truth. Pain of discipline is temporary. The soreness from training, the exhaustion from working late, the frustration of learning new skills, all of these feel uncomfortable in the moment, but they pass. Each moment of struggle builds resilience, strength, and skill. It is an investment. The body and mind respond to challenge. Avoid it and you forfeit growth. Face it and you transform. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has paid the price of temporary pain willingly. They understood the law that the discomfort you endure today becomes the power you hold tomorrow. Most people fear pain because it is immediate and tangible. The sting of effort is visible, and our instincts naturally recoil from discomfort, but they fail to see the invisible cost of avoidance. Every skipped workout, every avoided responsibility, every uncomfortable conversation compounds over time. That delayed cost becomes regret, a persistent gnawing pain that lasts far longer than the initial struggle would have. Pain experienced now is a tool. Pain experienced later is a punishment. Understanding this is what separates high performers from dreamers. Pain also teaches lessons that comfort never can. When you face challenges, you learn your limits, your weaknesses, and your strengths. You discover what you are capable of under pressure. Avoiding discomfort leaves you untested, unproven, and fragile. Life does not wait for you to feel ready. It applies pressure regardless of preparation. Those who have confronted pain repeatedly develop confidence, decision-making, and resilience that cannot be gained from ease. That is why discomfort is not an obstacle. It is the proving ground. Another hidden truth is that avoiding pain fosters dependence on luck, timing, and others. People who chase comfort rely on circumstances to favor them. They wait for easy paths, smooth transitions, or opportunities that require no struggle. But life rarely offers such gifts. Success is earned by those willing to endure hardship. Every successful person has a story of challenges met, obstacles faced, and pain endured intentionally. The more you avoid struggle, the less control you have over your outcomes. Discipline in discomfort is the currency of independence. Pain also builds character. Every time you push through discomfort, you reinforce an identity of reliability and strength. Others notice it. Life notices it. Challenges no longer intimidate you. Decisions become clearer. Action becomes automatic. Avoiding discomfort erodes self-trust. You doubt yourself, your ability, yes, and your resilience. Pain endured deliberately produces respect, confidence, and momentum. Pain avoided produces hesitation, fear, and stagnation. Here's the hardest hook of all. Every moment you avoid pain is a moment you trade for regret. Life doesn't pause while you stay comfortable. Opportunities pass. Skills atrophy. Potential diminishes. The world doesn't care if you're afraid of struggle. It rewards those who engage it. Every struggle embraced now compounds into freedom, achievement, and mastery later. Every struggle avoided compounds into frustration, limitation, and mediocrity. That is the brutal arithmetic of life. You pay the price one way or another, either in effort or in regret. Every decision you make today is a vote for the person you'll become tomorrow. Comfort tempts you with the illusion of safety, but every time you choose ease over effort, you are choosing weakness over strength. The hardest truth most people never face is that life does not reward intentions or wishes. It rewards action. You can dream endlessly about success, wealth, and influence, but without embracing discomfort, those dreams remain fantasies. That's the hook. Most people ignore temporary pain today creates permanent results tomorrow. Here's the first reality. The discomfort required for growth is not negotiable. Whether it's waking up early, facing rejection, learning a new skill, or pushing your physical limits, progress demands that you step outside your comfort zone. Every great achievement in history was forged by someone who refused to settle for comfort, who understood that the path to mastery is paved with struggle. Avoiding discomfort may feel good in the moment, but it guarantees stagnation. You are either moving forward or falling behind. There is no neutral ground. Choosing pain now is about building leverage. Short-term effort compounds into long-term advantage. The early mornings, the extra hours, the sacrifices others won't make accumulate silently but powerfully. While others are resting in comfort, you are gaining skills, experience, and resilience that will set you apart when opportunity arrives. The person willing to endure discomfort today will dominate tomorrow because they are prepared while others are not. The gap between action and inaction widens with every choice, and once it's created, it rarely closes. Most people avoid struggle because they fear the intensity of effort. Pain feels threatening, exhausting, even unfair. But the irony is brutal. The pain of discomfort is fleeting, while the pain of regret is permanent. Avoiding challenges now only ensures that later you will suffer more, watching others live the life you could have had, feeling the sting of opportunities wasted, knowing that the price you refused to pay early has come due, multiplied many times over. That is the hidden cost. Most people never calculate. Discomfort also builds identity. Every time you do what is hard, you reinforce a mental and emotional standard. You are someone who can be trusted to follow through. You are someone who does not flinch at difficulty, who does not bend under pressure, who refuses to let temporary feelings dictate long-term outcomes. That identity compounds quietly but powerfully. By consistently choosing discipline over comfort, you construct a version of yourself that is unstoppable, unshakable, and unrelenting. Meanwhile, those who chase ease slowly erode their potential and self-respect. There's another brutal truth. Life rarely gives second chances. The opportunities you avoid because they feel uncomfortable rarely come back. Relationships, investments, career moves, and personal growth moments have windows, and hesitating in the name of comfort often means missing them entirely. Every challenge ignored is a door closed. Every opportunity postponed is a step left unclaimed. Choosing discomfort today is the only way to ensure you are ready when life demands excellence, speed, and resilience. Here's the ultimate hook. Growth is painful, but mediocrity is excruciating. Comfort offers temporary relief, but it chains you to a life of what-ifs and unrealized potential. The people who rise, the people you admire, the people who shape industries, societies, and culture, they all embraced the hard path, took the pain head-on, and refused to settle for ease. Their lives are proof that short-term struggle leads to long-term freedom. Choosing pain now is choosing control over your destiny, choosing power over passivity, and choosing a life of achievement over a life of excuses. So decide right now. Either stay comfortable and stay average, or embrace discomfort and build something unstoppable. Because comfort is the enemy of progress, and progress only belongs to those who are willing to suffer with purpose. Get uncomfortable, get disciplined, and become the person comfort was trying to stop you from becoming.